19 don'ts when traveling in Cuba. Jerry Brown here with Jerry Brown Travels.
Laura here.
This is a don't. You don't use the tap water in the bathroom to brush your teeth. You don't use the tap water. You use bottled water to brush your teeth and to rinse your mouth out.
Another don't throw the toilet paper in the toilet. No. And throw in the trash.
Here's a tip. Before you take your shower, get a bottle of mouthwash, take a little sip of it and hold it in your mouth. This way, the water coming down, you don't open your mouth up and then you could get sick by having that water go into your stomach. So, little bit of mouthwash, leave it in your mouth when you get done showering.
Go.
Don't forget to tip. Please don't forget to tip the people here. The guidebooks recommend a 10% tip. And what you'll look for in Havana, you'll find out a lot of the restaurants, they include the tip. So be careful about it. You don't need to double tip on that. But it's very important to tip them. It's not only in the restaurants for the waiters, also taxi drivers. It's customary you leave them 10% tip. Maybe somebody is helping you with your luggage, a tip like that. So here, remember, the people are very poor. They're making about an average of maybe $12 a month. So a waiter or somebody like that, they rely on the tips. So please be generous with your tips. Don't forget to help them out. Don't forget to give them a good tip. 10%, if you want to feel more generous, you can give more on that. So look at your bill. I've noticed that as you're traveling throughout Cuba, a lot of places don't put the tip in there. So look at it and give a tip. The other thing, I talked to a restaurant waiter, and he said what they do is they combine all the tips in one day, and then they divide it out between all the waiters, the cooks, everybody that works within the restaurant. Not all restaurants will do that. Some of the restaurant owners, they keep a percentage of the tip themselves. But that's okay, that's the way they do business here, but some of it trickles down to the waiter who really does need the money. So don't forget to tip, be generous.
Go.
Now don't forget guidebooks. 2 guidebooks is not a bad idea. This is Cuba in your hand, and this is The Lonely Planet. This one doesn't have as many pictures as Cuba in your hand has, and so if you take a couple of them, you can get online and actually get them online too, so you don't have to, carry the books around with you. But in Cuba, you don't get the internet access, so that could be a difficult thing too. So I'd recommend actually taking the books with you. This way, when you're traveling around, you'll be able to see the small little places. It'll give you information on places to stay, restaurants to eat in. So don't forget your guidebooks.
But the other thing, don't forget your toilet paper. You don't have to bring a big roll like this, but take the small roll like this. It's easy to take care and carry that. Every toilet, they don't have a toilet paper, so you gotta use your own. And don't forget to wash your hand.
Important, don't forget your sunblock. Don't forget your sunblock. Very important. The sun here is very intense, very strong, and it's very easy to get a severe sunburn. So take a number 50, make sure it's waterproof, and use it throughout the day. Please do not forget your sunblock. You'll be miserable if you don't. And you'll have a great trip as long as you remember, don't forget your sunblock.
Oh, don't forget your bug spray or mosquito spray. There's a lot of bug around here in Cuba. Ooh.
Don't forget your medication. Things like heartburn relief, acid reducer relief, things for diarrhea that you can get. A lot of times when you travel, you get a cold, so you may want to take things like Dayquil or NyQuil, some type of cold medicine, some cough drops in there. So any medications, don't forget to take them, because it's very, very, very difficult to find any drugstores that have any medications here. You can't rely on getting any, even your over-the-counter medications here in Cuba. So make sure you take a little bit of everything with you, because you want to be comfortable. And so I always take like a little bag here, and I put in a little bit of everything that I feel I may need. And then if I have a cold like I do now, then I have my cough drops, I have my cold relief type of medicines. And also if you get a little stomach ache because you're not used to the food, so don't forget to take something like a Tagamet or an acid reducer. This works out really well for you also. So don't forget your medications.
Don't forget your hand sanitize. If you go to the bathroom, they don't have any water to wash your hand. They don't have any soap to wash your hand. Use your hand sanitize before you eat, before you go to the bathroom, after you go to the bathroom.
Don't forget to take a little bit of food along with you. As an example, I have trail mix in here. I have raisins and nuts mixture in there. Also, I take a little coffee along with me. Little things like peanut butter. Here's a little package of tuna fish. This way you can make a little sandwich as you go. It's very, very, very difficult to find a convenience stores here. You will not find any convenience stores. You don't find little stores that are your mom and pop stores that most places have. You don't find them at all. So by taking a little food with you this way, and there's no fast food restaurants, anything like that. You go into a restaurant and it can take you a long time. You can get very hungry. As an example, yesterday we went into a Chinese restaurant and we waited 2 hours to get a seat. And then when we got the seat, we didn't really like the food very well at all. So I was able to have my trail mix before I went in, so I wasn't starving so much. And so you'll find, if you just think about what you would like to take and just take it with you, and that'll really help, again, your travels here in Cuba.
Don't drink the tap water, drink the bottled water. If you go out, you drink a lot of water and put your water in your backpack or in your hand carry bag, because very hot here and you could be dehydrated. Even though you brush your teeth with the bottled water too. Don't forget that.
Don't forget to put on your phone Google Translate. And that's very important because you actually can talk into the Google Translate and then from English to Spanish, and this way you can convey what you want. The problem with the Google Translate is if you're in a noisy place, say a noisy restaurant, and you're trying to ask them for food in there, it won't pick it up. It's too noisy in there. So the Google Translate works when it's more in a quiet place, but if it's very noisy, it's not going to work. You can hand type it in, and that way you can just show it to the waiter or the waitress or the bus driver or the taxi driver, whoever you're trying to communicate what you want, and then they can just read what it is. So take your Google Translate with you. Make sure you get the app and you put it on your phone, and then that'll be easy also. So Google Translate is very important.
So, don't forget your hat. You can even wear your baseball hat. Look at that. So, does that look cute? Don't forget your hat. You can wear this hat, you can wear this hat. It's very important because the sun is so hot here. The hat is very good.
Don't expect to go in a restaurant and get fast service. They don't have fast food restaurants here. It's very calm, it's very slow. So when you go in there, they're not gonna rush food out to you. So don't expect to go in real quick and get out, catch a bus or go on to the next tour or whatever you're doing. you can't expect it. The other interesting thing about here, in Latin America, it's sort of the same, is that you sit down to a meal, you have your meal, and they're not going to ask you to leave. They're not going to hint about, would you leave? They don't, it doesn't make any difference how crowded the restaurant is. They're going to just let you sit there all day if you want. And so, very, very calm, relaxing. The other thing is that if you have extra food and you want to take it out, they don't have convenient little packages to put the food in so you can take it out. Also, if they do have something, they're going to charge you for it. They're going to charge you for a plastic bag to take the food with you. It's not much. It's about 50 of their cents here. So don't expect, rush in, rush out. You're not going to get that. Don't carry your handbag close to the street. Change it and put it away from the street. What I'm showing you there is that you don't walk with your shoulder bag or your purse along the street side. You take your shoulder bag or purse and you put it away from the street. This way somebody can't just drive by on a motorbike or a bicycle and grab your purse and take off with it. That's a handy tip to use any place that you're traveling. Don't forget an extension cord. Believe it or not, take an extension cord with you. We actually take 2 extension cords. This one is about 12 feet long, and this is just about 6 feet long. And what it is, one side of the room could have your plug, but you need the adapter plugged in on the other side of the room, say to plug in your computer or your charger, something like that. So take an extension cord. They don't have plugs around the room like you're typically used to. So as an example, I may then plug in here, and then I push the extension cord over here, and so now I can plug in an adapter there. Let me show you the type of adapters that they have here to put your plug in. Okay, so it looks a little bit different here, but this is actually 110, and this will work for you. So your regular appliances, hair dryers, adapters, anything like that will fit in this type of a plug. So see, that's like we normally have. Looks a little bit different than a US plug, and then this plugs in, and now it works okay. So they have the regular one that you typically see in the US, and that's easy to realize what it is. But this looks a little bit differently, but it will work. And also, a lot of times what they will do right in here, they will tell you if it's a different voltage, like 220. This is 110, and that's what we use in the US, 110 volts. Don't forget your umbrella. It may rain or it may be awful sunny. Don't forget your umbrella. Other videos we have made in Cuba. How about the challenges of the internet? Come visit us in Trinidad, a wonderful historical site. Playful time in Cuba. Yeehaw! Having a great time. Come and join us on our YouTube channel. Come and join us.